it was Jonathan that started retouching them again and started kind of like working to complete them. Maybe Bokwari finally completed some. Don't know. Obasanjo. He messed up what could have been, a change that Nigeria needed at the time. A change from the military democracy that they foisted on the country to something that can be like close to what people wanted or desired. Nothing, no system is perfect, right? But a system that is so alien to the people, enough that you can easily tell that some are even saying that Nigeria is too big for them to govern. I'm like, no, because they are lawless people. They are criminals. Where rule of law is dead, right? There's nothing there that matters, not even anybody's life. That's what they have turned that contraption to. Yeah. So true federalism, you're never gonna get that. Obasanjo, who felt like he was the only person who loved Nigeria the most, he is the only one who knows who can do better if it is not him. But he lost his entire mojo when he decided to burn the same house that made him the second time. At least you can say that. Burn it for the APC, Egbekegbe, only for them to, believing that probably will become a tenant, a stakeholder. But that didn't last long. In fact, it didn't last longer than a year before they showed him his place. And today, he's as good as irrelevant. With these guys in charge, though, yeah, he's old. He's as good as irrelevant politically per se. Not anymore. OBJ. But let's leave that. Injustice that everybody suffers, right? Only few comes out to possibly speak about them because Nigeria was supposed to have a democracy, but it is not democracy. All right. The current face-off between Wike and Omoyele Sowore didn't actually start today. Okay. So those of you who have been following the exchanges online, I have too. And the recent or the latest one is the petition sent to the Attorney General and the Governor of Florida over Wike and his family's properties in Florida, where Sowore is petitioning the government of the Office of the Attorney General, right, of the thief that Wike is, and how much of his criminality that is trying to possibly bury some in that America shouldn't be ignored. And in fact, it would be ideal for the government of Florida to remember this money laundering act or money laundering law, this and that, from the politically exposed people, especially from Africa. Petition a long gone. So in that same breath, Omoyele Sowore personally also released some documents. They were believed to be like the deed of agreement or the deed of transfer or something on this property to their children's names and then the wife. We have also had people who have taken critical look at this document, right? And they have pointed out some flaws. All of this, I have put them together. I'll share them with us this evening. Sowore's lawyer is Adeyanju. And Adeyanju that drafted this letter addressed it straight to the Attorney General, Honorable James of Mayor, the Attorney General's office, state of Florida, their capital, Tallahassee, Florida. I am not going to read everything, okay? I'm just going to jump through them. And originally, the petition, from what I have gathered, right, the petition itself is about 36 or so pages, 34, 36 pages, which includes the evidence of all this. But in part, the petition for forfeiture and prosecution in respect of properties acquired in Florida by Mr. Ezenwo Nyesom Wike. That is CON, Minister of the Federal Capital Territory of Nigeria. So we are solicitors to Mr. Omoyele Sowore, hereinafter referred to as our client. So let's go to part one, or should I say subject of our petition. Mr. Ezenwo Nyesom Wike, CON, has been a career politician and public officer since 1999, with no discernible record of legitimate private enterprise that could justify vast foreign wealth, notwithstanding recent investigative reports herein attached for ease of reference, corroborated with public records in the state of Florida, shows that he and his spouse, Honorable Justice Eberechi Suzette Nyesom Wike of the Nigerian Court of Appeal, have secretly purchased 3 multi-million-dollar lakeside properties in Winter Springs, Florida, now collectively valued at well over $6 million, and have subsequently transferred ownership of these properties to their children, namely Jordan and others. Right? Hang on, where's the other one? The second one. Number 2, to Jordan. Okay. So, the reading concert, these states and federal regimes create overlapping and reinforcing grounds for the forfeiture of subject properties. The U.S. Department of Justice Kleptocracy Asset Recovery Initiative, launched in 2010, provides a ready mechanism for action in these kinds of cases, where corrupt foreign officials launder stolen public wealth into the United States under the guise of ordinary family transfers. Similarly, under Nigerian law, Section 18 of the Money Laundering Prevention and Prohibition Act 2022 criminalizes concealing, disguising, converting, or transferring property known to be proceeds of an unlawful act, whether within or outside Nigeria. What emerges, therefore, is not simply a question of domestic Nigerian corruption, but an instance of illicit wealth finding sanctuary in the real estate market of Florida. The United States has long taken a principled stance against kleptocracy and money laundering. To allow these assets to remain untouched would be to provide a safe haven for the process of corruption. 2, our prayers. These are the prayers. Sowore's prayers to the government of Florida. So I'm trying to bring up a particular image of with a wiki. I don't know why I do that all the time. Yeah. Just give me a sec. Right. So, Eberechi, with a Wike's wife, she is a judge of the Court of Appeal in Nigeria. So Sowore is demanding for Angon, the prayers. It is in light of the foregoing that we respectfully pray that the office of the Attorney General of Florida investigate the source of funds used in these acquisitions and establish to be the process of money laundering or other unlawful activity. Immediately commence forfeiture proceedings against the identified properties in Seminole County acquired by Mr. Wike and transferred to his children. B. Institute criminal prosecution against all individuals who facilitated or executed the transaction in accordance with the Florida Money Laundering Act. C. Impose a visa ban and related sanctions on Mr. Wike to prevent further abuse of U.S. territory as a safe haven for corrupt enrichment. We stand ready to provide all supporting documents, witness testimony, and further particulars of Mr. Wike's illicit activities. We have also retained US-based counsel who are prepared to collaborate with your office to ensure that So the people of Nigeria have been impoverished for decades by the diversion of public funds. It will be a perversion of justice if those funds siphoned through abuse of office are allowed to flourish. In Florida's a real estate market. We therefore urge your good office to act decisively, consistent with both Florida's laws against money laundering and the United States of America's commitment to anti-corruption globally. Please accept assurance. So this is from Angono. One copy Attorney General of the United States, no. Bondi, as well as which one is Ambassador of the United States of America to Nigeria, Richard Mills. So no wonder the American embassy in Nigeria tweeted something similar to this by saying that corrupt Nigerians or corrupt politicians will be denied visa to America. You know, where Wike was like, if there's anybody that doesn't like going to America, it's me. Anyway, just for the optic, okay? These are Wike's family. Wike's wife is the one that is next to my, here. This one. That's Wike's wife. So Wike's son, okay, let's son, Wike himself, like that. Then the wife, then Wike's son, and then Wike's daughter. So they all have 3 houses in Florida right now, 3 properties that is transferred to them according to Wike, transferred to them by their grandfather. Their mom's dad gave them the houses. Unfortunately, the man that gave them houses doesn't even have any house to his name in the entire America. No house to his name. But he gave his grandkids 3 houses according to Wike. Wike also indicted his family or his wife when he said his wife or his family, his wife and his children are Americans. Now, an American can be your judge, shouldn't be your judge in Nigeria, by the way. Doesn't matter anymore. A Genene drug dealer is your president. Eh? And there's some of your state governors, they all have dual citizenship of different countries. The place they would end up if Kasala burst in the contraption. So here is where we have something called the twist. Okay. The twist here now is that Omoyele Sowore decided to share this with us. Right? It's called a quit claim deed. Okay. So he shared this to, you know what I mean? He highlighted the parties involved in the transfer of these properties over time. Okay. And I think I've got another one. I think it's this, where is it? Yeah, this one. Yeah. So if you read partly, right? 2021 AD, Eberechi Nyesom Wike married a grantor whose address is blah 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 drive. You see that there? Hereafter called the grantor to transfer it. So Eberechi transfer this to herself and her son Jordan. In this particular one, the other two, yeah, Joaquin was named as the inheritor. Be what do you call a grantor? If you check this other one here on the left on your screen, what's that one there? Eberechi Nyesom Wike. Okay. Anyway, now that you've seen that, right? Then someone like no, they decided to take a look at some of these documents. The properties in Florida is obviously owned by or transferred to be owned by Wike's children and his wife. Do you understand? So if you go onto the Florida kind of like I think it's Florida property registration website or so, right? You couldn't see that there. Just put the address. You get to see the owner. I think you pay $1 or $2 for you to be able to have that information. That one is there. But you see these ones, they are supposed to possibly be part of the document presented in order to transfer the property to who he transferred the property to. So the bone of contention here is that both Wike and his wife, without stolen money, there is no way they could afford their properties. No way. They have no other real business known to them, right? So that's the bone of contention. Others are like, no, pay attention to this. Something is not right. And for me, well, I decided I'm going to add it to what you also need to see. As much as we would want to see this criminal nailed, at the same time, we should try to make sure that, it is done and it is done right. All right. So somebody did this. Started to show to us that why are the names of these individuals kind of like highlighted in what was supposed to be a document that like the font, they said the font is different from the rest. And when you check when you check the document very well, there's so many grammatical blunders. So for example, if you go to if you check, you see those people just cycled writings like the date 22nd day July 2021 AD. They don't write anything like that in Florida from the findings. Okay. So when you go to the other one and say, okay, so a sign of comparations, right? Corporations, you realize that that's a grammatical blunder, meaning whether it is generated with an AI or something, it's probably supposed to be like corporations, right? Then when you go further, you see something like receipt of 10 hahi. What is 10 hahi? Right? So when you go to the next one, the next line, where do you see that dollars, $10, yeah? So go to the second line in that paragraph and read from where it says, and put claim, and what is that? And dot claim, whatever that means. You get what I mean now? Also, the first line, by the way, it said the receipt whereof. It says whereof. And There's so many kind of grammatical blunders that makes the document kind of like questionable. You get what I mean? So you see where they are there, Florida, lot 55, the reserve at